Hey guys, welcome back. So, what is Warren Buffett's favorite index fund? Now, what you probably already know is that Warren Buffett is a fan of index funds. There are quite a lot of news articles out there of him referring to an S&P 500 index fund. However, as far as I know, he's never actually said which specific index fund is his favorite. And so that is what I'm going to be revealing in this video. So the next question becomes, well, how do I know? Good question. Well, we can actually see what he's doing with his own money, which I'll show you in a second. First up, as always, if you do find anything useful in the video, then be sure to drop a like. That would be much appreciated. Okay, sit back and relax, guys, as we look at Warren Buffett, index funds, and which index fund I think is Warren Buffett's favorite. Okay, so here is what we've got coming up. We're first going to take a look at Warren Buffett's big bet with the hedge fund industry. We'll then take a look at what Warren Buffett's favorite index fund is, and then we'll finish with a quick clip of Warren Buffett as he explains how to go from $20,000 to $50 million with an index fund. First up, if you simply cannot wait and you have to see which index fund is his favorite, feel free to skip ahead. Firstly, I do want to give you some context about how Warren Buffett thinks about index funds, as I do think it's important. Now, back in 2008, right at the time of the global financial crisis, Warren Buffett issued a challenge to the hedge fund industry. The challenge was actually very simple. Could any of them actually be a simple index fund over a 10-year period? Now, if you're not aware, hedge funds typically charge about 2% annual fee. And on top of that, it's not uncommon for them to charge a 20% share in the profit. So big, hefty fees, right? Now, the problem that Warren Buffett pointed out is that even though these funds charged a super high fee, most of them didn't outperform a simple index fund, which had really low fees and required almost zero work. This means that people were paying extra high fees for lower performance. Now, one hedge fund stood up and took the challenge, Protégé Partners, and they entered into a $1 million bet. The great thing is that 10 years has now gone by and we can see the results. Check it out. So these were the results after 9 years. And we can see this Protégé Partners actually put together 5 different funds to try and beat the index. And the end results were these. Fund A had 8.7, Fund B almost 30%, Fund C about 60%, Fund D didn't do too well at all at 3%. We had Fund E at only 7.5. This was the average, but the index fund altogether did 85.4%. And on top of that, these are actively managed funds. So these had teams of supposedly the best money managers in the world, all buying and selling and hedging and using all the strategies and tips available to them with stocks, charging a 2% annual fee, taking an additional probably 20% of the profits, where the good old index fund had close to zero fee and required zero time. And yet it still vastly outperformed the actively managed funds. The sad news is that Warren Buffett estimates that these elite fund managers have wasted approximately $100 billion of investors' money. Okay, so we know that index funds are a great place to be, but which one is the best one? Okay, so as promised, here is what I think would be Warren Buffett's favorite index fund. So first up, I need to show you how I know this information, and it's all to do with 13F filings. So what is this? Well, the 13F is a quarterly report filed, and it's requested by the United States Security and Exchange Commission. It's a regulation that all big institutional investors that have over $100 million in assets have to report what they are buying and selling. And this is great for us because we get to see what the big investors are doing with their own money. So this is the latest filing for Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. The latest period we have is Q3 2020. We can see the portfolio is just under 230 billion. So with Warren Buffett's portfolio, this is what you typically see. You'll probably know that he's in Apple, Bank of America, Coca-Cola, American Express, Kraft Heinz, as these are all his largest positions. However, if we scroll down, because there's actually 50 total positions in the Berkshire Hathaway portfolio, and as we get to the very bottom, you will notice there, ticker SPY, Spider S&P 500 ETF. And you can see he's got $13 million in this ETF. Now the ETF is pretty much the same as an index fund. The only difference is that it's an ETF, exchange traded fund, but it pretty much tracks the index as an index fund. And if we look a little bit higher, we also see here the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. And again, he's got just over $13 million in this fund. So I think he's actually taken holding positions. So he's got these prepared for when he needs to use them. So I would comfortably say that Warren Buffett's favorite index fund would be the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol VOO.
So this time I went back actually to 1942 when I bought my first stock as an illustration of all the things that have happened since 1942. We've had 14 presidents, 7 Republicans, 7 Democrats. We've had world wars. We had 9/11. We had the Cuban Missile Crisis. We have all kinds of things. The best single thing you could have done on March 11th, 1942, when I bought my first stock, was just buy an index fund and never look at a headline, never think about stocks anymore, just like you would do if you bought a farm. You just buy the farm and let the tenant farmer run it for you. And I pointed out that if you'd put $10,000 in an index fund that reinvested dividends, and I paused for a moment to let the audience try and guess how much it'd amount to, and it would come to $51 million now. And the only thing you had to really believe in then is that America would win the war and that America would progress as it has ever since 1776, and that American business, if America moved forward, American business would move forward. You didn't have to worry about what stock to buy. You didn't have to worry what day to get in and out. You didn't know the Federal Reserve would exist, whatever it might be. And America works.
So there you are, guys. You now know Warren Buffett's 2 favorite index funds, well, technically ETFs, which are probably his favorite. We have number 1, VOO, Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF, and number 2, SPY, the Spider S&P 500 ETF. Interestingly, passive investing has now surpassed active investing for the first time in history. The new paradigm shift, which was started by Jack Bogle and Vanguard in 1975, has finally come to fruition. So there you are, guys. Hope you found this useful. In fact, if you did find anything useful in the video, be sure to drop a like. I know it only takes 2 seconds and would be very much appreciated. If you haven't yet subscribed, I invite you to click below and join us. I do have some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. Any questions or comments, just post them below. Okay, cheers guys. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.